Picture this. It's cold. It's the winter, but you just went on a nice little date. And now it's time to go back home. I don't know, participate in some extracurricular activity. Now it's getting a little spicy. That's what Tom Ford's Vanille Fatale reminds me of. Come back so we can talk about that a little bit more. Ooh. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video of Smell Good with Jenna. I'm, of course, Jenna. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's very much appreciated. Do what you gotta do. It's there in the video. Let's get right into it. Tom Ford's Vanille Fatale. Man. I just wore this thing today. And man. So as I mentioned, I've never smelled a vanilla like this. And we'll get into the nose. Now it makes sense why I've never smelled a vanilla like this. But I'm a huge vanilla lover. I've said that multiple times in other videos. I love vanilla. So any vanilla fragrance, dominant fragrance I can get my hands on, I'm more than excited to give it a try. That's why originally I was so pressed to smell this and Tobacco Vanille, just because it has vanilla in it. So I can only like it. But I've also mentioned this when it comes to Tom Ford. I can see, we always have this thing of talking about niche and designer, and people tend to classify Tom Ford as niche. And the thing is, that's not really the case, because Tom Ford is a designer brand. But the reason why I would assume people sit here and classify this as niche, because Tom Ford fragrances are so complex. It's rich. It's sensual. You can't put it in the box like most designer brands, where a lot of these designer brands, everything smells the same. And that's no shade. I love my designer fragrances because I have them or whatever, but you know what you're getting. They're crowd pleasing. You know what you're going to get. With Tom Ford, you literally do not know what you're going to get when you smell something. And that's what I got with this, that it's intimate, sensual, mysterious, dark. It has me shook. It has me lost for words. You can't put Tom Ford, in general, all Tom Ford fragrances, you can't put it in a box. And this is no different. In my opinion, this might be my fourth, fifth Tom Ford fragrance. I don't know. There's a distinct smell. I don't smell it in Lost Cherry, but there's a distinct smell that you know, like, this is Tom Ford. And I wonder if anyone else noticed that, or is it just me? Let me know in the comments if you understand what I'm talking about. There's like a distinct smell, a note that you get that it's like, you know what? I know that's a Tom Ford fragrance. This is no different. So now you add that and the vanilla to this. It's out of this world. And I know a lot of times people from time to time mention certain Tom Ford fragrances like Soleil Blanc, Lost Cherry, that the longevity is not great. Bitter Peach it's not great at all. And if you're gonna spend $300 or more on something, I need that thing to really, really project and last. This is extremely long lasting. I sprayed this early in the morning around 7 o'clock, and then I was still smelling that very, very much strongly into the afternoon by 1, 2 o'clock or so. Matter of fact, I finally retouched at probably closer to 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So when I tell you this is long lasting, the projection, the sillage, it's worth the money, because it does everything that it needs to do. You want your fragrance to do. So I'm not gonna get into all the notes in this fragrance, because Fragrantica has 1,000,001 notes on here, and I'm not doing all of that. But another thing that blew my mind when it came to this fragrance is the fact that vanilla is, let me see, it's It's all the way in the base. And it's not in the base where that's the only thing. You have so many different notes. So the fact that when you initially spray it, you still smell that vanilla and it lingers throughout the whole day, it's so fascinating and mind-blowing how they were able to blend this fragrance together like that. Some of the notes you have are rum, myrrh, what is this? Oblim. Girl, don't make fun of me. I'll put it on the screen. Saffron, coriander, orange, lime of all things. I don't even get the citrus notes when it comes to this. That's why I love Tom Ford. Is one of my favorite houses, because it is so diverse and complex. Like lime and a vanilla fragrance that's just as coffee, plum. That's some of the notes in the middle. Then you have in the base Madagascar vanilla, suede, tobacco, mahogany, patchouli. I think it might be the patchouli and coriander that has a distinct smell in Tom Ford. I could be wrong. I would have to really do this research and look at all his different fragrances, but maybe that's what I smell when it comes to all the fragrances in the house. But like I said, I just named all these different things, and it just, you wouldn't think immediately, oh, that's for sure is a vanilla fragrance. Absolutely not. A nice blend and diverse fragrance that absolutely is seductive. It's rich. It's not, with vanilla, I don't know if I mentioned this in the beginning of the video, but you typically associate vanilla with sweet, gourmand. This in my opinion is not gourmand at all. So if you want a different twist and taste to vanilla, this is your girl. This is your girl, because I promise you, nothing about this is sweet. Does it have a hint of sweetness? Obviously, because it has the Madagascar vanilla and some other notes, but is it like Escabet Gourmand or Bianco Latte? No, not in the slightest. I think you can't go wrong with Vanille Fatale. I don't think it needs to be layered. Listen, I've mentioned this before, I'm not the layering queen, so I'm not going to instantly think, oh, this is going to smell good with this. I think that since it has so many different notes and it's so completely diverse, I don't think you really need to tamper with it. I love layering or expanding on certain notes, but sometimes you don't really need to do much with certain fragrances. I definitely when I wore this, I didn't do much. I didn't wear a body oil, perfume oil, because I didn't want to make it too sweet. But definitely when my routine, I wound up using Bath and Body Works Vanilla Bean Noel, and I also used Tree Hut's Vanilla Bean Shea Sugar Scrub. Did I say sugar scrub, right? Yeah, okay. So just enough to enhance the vanilla, but still not too much, doing too much where it makes it overly sweet. I didn't want that. I want this just to be sexy and grown and do what it had to do. And she did. She did. So that's my dedicated review on Tom Ford's Vanille Fatale. Listen, before I wrap this up, when you think you had enough, Tom Ford and all these fragrance houses just giving us more. I'm very interested to see what that vanilla sex smells like. I think it's dropping in a week or so. That sounds crazy. So if I'm telling you this smells, you about to do extracurricular activities after a nice date in the winter time, I can only imagine what vanilla sex smells like. I'm just saying, but that's not the video for this. We'll talk about that some other time. That's my video. If you haven't already, go ahead and like, subscribe, follow, comment, whatever. Do what you gotta do. And always remember, the best compliment one can get is that you smell so good.